Welcome to a frigid Friday night in Boston. The wind chill makes it feel about 15 degrees. Maybe it's cold outside as we start off our doubleheader, so it's good to be inside what will be a sellout crowd at the TD Garden. Celtics and Bucks already the third time this season these two teams have met as we welcome you to NBA Courtside presented by DoorDash. Jason Tatum didn't play Wednesday with some knee soreness, but he is back in the lineup tonight for the Celtics. And look who's back for the Bucks. Three-time All-Star Chris Middleton, off-season surgery, back for his first game of the season. And good evening, everyone. Along with Richard Jefferson and Doris Burke, Mike Greenon and Cassidy Hubbard with us as well.
And he said this is the hardest injury he's ever had to come back from because it was 2 surgeries and 2 recoveries in one. And he said trying to be balanced on both feet, not overcompensating for anything, has been challenging both mentally and physically. He admitted he is a little nervous about returning tonight. Obviously a big game, but
the best numbers of his career. You see this right here. Career high in minutes, career high in points, 3-point field goals made. But in his last 5 games, he's almost averaging 23 points a night. The part that I think is most impressive is Doc Rivers said,
the Celtics have played the Bucks already twice. Once in Boston, once in Milwaukee, and the Celtics winning both of those games. But it's a different Bucks team, especially with Chris Middleton. So Bucks and Celtics coming up when we return. More from courtside.
NBA Courtside on ESPN is presented by Dash Pass, your door to all things basketball.
Welcome to an NBA Friday between the Bucks and the Celtics, and it's presented by State Farm. Sellout crowd at the TD Garden in Boston here on this Friday night. Again, the Celtics have already won the first 2 meetings of the season between the two, as Brook Lopez and the Bucks trying to keep their recent good fortunes going as we look at tonight's starting lineups. And it's delivered by Taco Bell. So for Milwaukee, Chris Middleton returns, but he will not start. Andre Jackson Jr., the second-year player out of UConn, continues to start. Taurean Prince has been red hot. And Antetokounmpo, Lopez, and Lillard rounded out. Meanwhile, for the Boston Celtics, no Kristaps Porzingis tonight. Again, the injury management from the offseason surgery, but the rest remains the same. Pretty nice when you can plug in a guy named Al Horford as a center. So we're past a quarter for Brown, 6 points for Tatum, and Boston's up a half a dozen.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Take a look at who's ruling the court, brought to you by Burger King. The Celtics offense number 2 rated in the NBA. You can easily get deflated as an opponent because they can all score, they can all shoot, especially three-pointers, Doris.
Mike, 3 of the 8 guys with 80-plus threes played for the Celtics. They've got 3, and we've not yet played a full 4 minutes. It can come from any number of spots. All 5 guys are triple threats on the offensive end. Very difficult to handle defensively.
As well, it'll be fun next week. 1-point game here in Boston. 8 early for the Bucks with Chris Middleton in his first game. Bounced back. It's a 2-point game.
Damian Lillard feeling good. The great defenders of the Boston Celtics can't slow him down so far.
Tonight's Star Watch brought to you by Brooks. Richard.
Oh, it's the big 3 from the Bucks. They are finally here. We've got Giannis, we've got Dame, and we've got Chris Middleton back. Doc Rivers has only had them for 9 games since he's taken over, but in those 9 games, they've averaged 123 points.
Different ways he affects the game, and he prides himself on it.
On Kendrick Perkins and Brian Windhorst. We'll have it all for you on a busy Friday night in the NBA. Here in Boston, 2 quarters complete. Celtics led by 8 early. But as they go into the locker at halftime, it's the Bucks with a 4-point lead. Brooke Lopez having a blast as we welcome you back to NBA Friday, presented by State Farm. Bucks a 4-point lead as we're about to start the third quarter. Our first half stats brought to you by Lincoln. As for the Stars, Damian Lillard superb with 20. Antetokounmpo had 14. Tatum and Brown also did their thing early. They led by 8, but now trail by 4 as we get set to start the second half. Hi again, everyone, with Richard Jefferson and Doris Burke. Mike Green on hand. We'll check in with Cassidy in a moment. Bucks playing better, 7-1 their last 8 games. That was a good first half for them.
Tremendous. Damian Lillard doing work all over the floor. He likes to pride himself on being a scoring point guard, but somebody who can distribute. Of his 20, Richard, all of them came off the bounce.
And you might have to do that against great defenders. You look at this, every shot that he's going to take, all 3 levels. Al Horford, a very capable defender, even in his old age, but Dame Lillard is so special. 25 points a game this season, almost had that in the first half with 20.
Old age.
Still early in the third, a good one between the Celtics and the Bucks.
ESPN Bet is the official sportsbook of ESPN. Get in on trending parlays, daily profit boost, and exclusive talent markets all season long. Scan the QR code and sign up for ESPN Bet to claim your new player bonus. Plus, get your first 30 days of ESPN Plus on us.
Coming up next, doubleheader on ESPN. Warriors and the Timberwolves. He didn't play last night, but they beat the Rockets. He's playing tonight, part of our second game of our Friday night doubleheader. Meanwhile, timeout with 2:17 remaining.
And yes, he's not shooting threes anymore, but these little 17-footers, these 15-footers, these are butter for Giannis.
You want to boss up your life? All you got to do is get in with me. I don't even pay to get in the club. They know I'm a walking tick. I'm pressing.
In their last 10, Milwaukee 7-1 in their last 8. No double-figure leads. A 4-point game as we head to the fourth. In fourth they go. Still 7.5 remaining. A 3-point lead for the Bucks.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Make your knockout round picks with NBA Pick'em Tournament Challenge presented by Microsoft Copilot. Chance to win tickets to NBA All-Star, Microsoft Surface Pro 10, and more. Play free at NBA.com/bracket or on the NBA app. The Bucks with a 4-point lead.
What do you got, Doris? Bucks ball.
Jason Tatum, 2 of the prettiest passes of the night with the left hand, never brings the other hand over, and then the drive. Giannis a reach and slap, and one-on-one at the cup. Good night.
Second game of our doubleheader coming up. Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves against the Warriors. Yes, Steph Curry playing tonight. That's coming up next on ESPN.
Bad shot by Giannis on one end. A big who's accustomed and shoots a high percentage from 3, Al Horford. That's a monumental swing.
And we talk about bringing Lopez up. Well, all of that gave Holiday the floater. 5-point lead for these Celtics.
Striking. 34 more points for Jason Tatum. And the Celtics now 19-4 on the season. The Bucks fall to 11-11 on the year. So for Doris Burke, Richard Jefferson, Cassidy Hubbard, and our wonderful crew, Mike Green saying thanks for watching so long from Boston. Right now, let's go back to the studio.